Hello students, welcome to Incompatibility Part 3 session. Learning outcomes of today's session. The learner will able to understand types of alkaloidal chemical incompatibility and understand types of soluble salicylate chemical incompatibility. Let's start with the session. Example of chemical incompatibilities and method of their correction. I would like to tell all of you that in this particular chemical incompatibility session 3, we are going to see the reactions between the chemicals. Now, the first part we have seen into the flow chart that we are going to see the alkaloids and the other substances incompatibility. Means alkaloid will be a common chemical 1 or reactant substance 1, and that will react with the another substance, that is reactant substance 2. And then what will happen, what product will form, and how we are going to adjust or tolerate that incompatibility, or how we are going to correct the particular prescription with the pharmaceutical skill and methods. So first, alkaloidal incompatibility, we have A, alkaloidal salt with alkaline substances. Now this A underlined topic you have to remember, and you have to have a practice of this chapter so that it will be easy for you to remember particular reactions into the exam. Otherwise, we won't be able to recall the reactions. First, alkaloidal salts. Alkaloids are weak bases. This is very simple as you have studied in pharmacognosy first year. So you all know that alkaloids are weak bases in their nature. They are slightly soluble or insoluble in water, but their salt form is soluble in water. If these salts are dispensed with alkaline preparations such as strong ammonium acetate solution, aromatic spirit of ammonia, solution of ammonia, etc., the free alkaloid may be precipitate. So, in summarized form, we can say that when we are going to react this alkaloidal salt with alkaline substance means basic substance like solution of ammonia, spirit of ammonia. So what will happen? The product will be a precipitate. So simple in case, alkaloidal salt will react with alkaline substances, we can get a precipitate. Example of this, strychnine hydrochloride solution, aromatic spirit of ammonia and water. Now here, strychnine hydrochloride solution, that is strychnine. This strychnine is a alkaloid and HCl is a salt. So it's a alkaloidal salt, and aromatic spirit of ammonia is an alkaline substance. Just we have seen alkaloidal salt with alkaline substance. We are having this example, alkaloidal salt and alkaline substance. Water is a vehicle. Now here we are able to understand that this will produce a precipitate, that will be a strychnine precipitate. So the aromatic spirit of ammonia contains negligible amount of alcohol which cannot dissolve the strychnine. Therefore, it get precipitate as diffusible precipitate. Means aromatic spirit of ammonia, what we are explaining over here is, as the name indicates spirit contains small amount of alcohol, and we all know that in session 1 we have seen presence of alcohol can reduce the precipitate formation. But here in aromatic spirit of ammonia, whatever spirit is present, into that whatever alcohol is present is in very small amount, and which will not able to diffuse this precipitate. Therefore, it will get precipitate. But because of little amount of alcohol present, the precipitate will be diffusible type. And therefore, we have all know that there are two methods. So here, the precipitate is diffusible type. We are going to follow method A for precipitate yielding combinations. So what is method A? For your simplification, I can tell you again that method A means we have to divide the vehicle in two parts. In this example, we have to divide this vehicle in 60 ml and 60 ml in two beakers. And then in one beaker, we are going to add this ammonia spirit, and in another beaker, we are going to add this strychnine hydrochloride. In both the beakers, we are going to mix it thoroughly, and then vehicle A and vehicle B means in one beaker and then another beaker we can mix with a thorough stirring, and we can get a solution product, that is strychnine precipitate, which is diffusible type, and that is we have followed method A. I think it is very clear for you because we have already seen in last session. I told you to remember that flow chart, which is I have given as a differential form, that is method A of precipitate forming interaction and method B. So again I appeal you to mug up that particular flow chart, make a habit to write it on your book and take a practice. B. Next is alkaloidal salt with soluble iodides. Now we have seen in A alkaloidal salt with alkaline substance. Now here in B we are going to see alkaloid salt with soluble iodides. So what will happen when these two react? See, in cough mixtures, potassium iodide is generally prescribed as an expectorant along with the tincture of ipecacuanha. The quantity of emethane present in this ipecacuanha tincture is very low and it cannot react with the potassium iodide, and hydroiodide precipitate is not formed. So similarly, when strychnine is prescribed along with the soluble iodide, it forms a very insoluble hydroiodide, the precipitate of which are diffusible. Hence, follow method A for precipitate yielding interactions. Now here what will happen? In a simple way we can again see that alkaloidal salt when react with the soluble iodide, they have given a cough mixture where the iodides are present. So what will happen? These two will react with each other, and what will happen? They will form a precipitate. That precipitate is again diffusible type. So we have follow method A to prepare this type of prescription. Now see, again alkaloidal salt with tannins. Okay, so here third part, when these two react with each other, what will happen? Again the similar, the alkaloidal salt when combined with the drug containing tannins, the alkaloid form tannate which are separated as a diffusible precipitate. The tannin can convert into the tannates which is diffusible in type and it is a precipitate. So follow method A for precipitate yielding interactions. The tannates of most alkaloids are insoluble in water, hence strong tea or tannic acid solution is commonly used in alkaloidal poisoning. This is a use of the preparation. We can use this method for or avoid the poisoning cases or to neutralize the poison into the patient's body. Mostly common when there is a alkaloidal poisoning, maybe the herbal drugs, or sometimes the people go out for trekking and all. If they have something outside and they can cause alkaloid poisoning, so we can go for a tannic acids, or a strong tea can be given to the patient. Tannic acid can be given to the patient. So what will happen? It will form a precipitate and the patient can easily survive. Next is D, alkaloid salt with salicylate. When quinine compounds are combined with salicylates. Now quinine is again alkaloidal salt. So quinine compound when mixed with the salicylate, it will form a indiffusible precipitate. Now here in A, B, C method we have seen diffusible precipitate. Now here alkaloid will react with the salicylates, it will form a indiffusible precipitate of quinine salicylate. Quinine salicylate. Alkaloid is quinine and react with salicylate, so it will form a quinine salicylate. Therefore, follow method B as the precipitate is indiffusible. Example here is quinine hydrochloride, that is alkaloidal salt. Sodium salicylate is salicylate. This is vehicle. They can mix together and make a mixture. So, the procedure is quinine hydrochloride on reaction with sodium salicylate will form a quinine salicylate which get precipitated as indiffusible PPT, and therefore follow method B for precipitate yielding interactions. What we are going to do in method B? Again this 100 ml of vehicle we have to give in 2 beakers. In one beaker 50 ml, another beaker 50 ml. And in one first beaker 50 ml we are going to add sodium salicylate. In another 50 ml beaker we are going to add quinine hydrochloride. But here in second beaker we are not going to forget to add any tragacan powder or a tragacan mucilage. That is diffusible substance, or we have to use to make it diffusible. Tragacan powder, agar, tragacan mucilage, these are suspending agents actually. So they will help to give this precipitate in a good form. So method A is simply 2 dividation of this vehicle, but method B, in one part we are going to add vehicle and one reactant substance. In another part of the vehicle we are going to add first the suspending agent and then the reactant substance. We can make a paste and then 2 beaker solutions can be mixed together very thoroughly to get the indivisible precipitate. That is method B. Example 3, caffeine citrate, sodium salicylate. Again, caffeine citrate is an alkaloidal salt and sodium salicylate is a salicylate form. So what will happen? This will react together and precipitate will be formed, salicylic acid precipitate. So what is the solution? Caffeine citrate is a mixture of equal weights of caffeine and citric acid. Means caffeine citrate is what? It's a mixture of caffeine and citrate. The citric acid present in the caffeine citrate react with the sodium salicylate to liberate salicylic acid, and that salicylic acid will get precipitate. What they are saying here, that this is a alkaloid where two substances are mixed together, caffeine plus citrate. Now the problem is with citrate. Citrate contains citric acid, and that citric acid will react with sodium salicylate to give the precipitate. So what we can do whatever the method is there, we can go and we can use method A and B to compound the particular preparation. But hence we can know that if we are going to remove the citrate, we can get a solution, because this is a problematic substance. So here in second point we have discussed, if caffeine is used instead of caffeine citrate, means instead of caffeine citrate, just use caffeine in more amount so that citrate will be omitted. Citrate is not present, there will be no precipitate formation. So if caffeine is used instead of caffeine citrate, it forms a soluble complex with sodium salicylate, and hence the caffeine that is citrate to form the clear mixture. So in first case we are going to use method A or method B, but apart from that, what they have suggested that in the exam, if this example, particularly this example comes, so you should able to write that particular solution is what? You have to write first a problem. What is the problem? Caffeine citrate contains citrate. Citrate react with sodium salicylate and produce precipitate. If we don't want that, what we are going to do? Remove the citrate, only use caffeine so that there is a no precipitate formation, but the clear mixture can be formed. So in the exam, you have to write in the same manner. And the last is alkaloidal salt with soluble iodides and bromides. Now, alkaloids like strychnine, morphine, codeine, etc. form insoluble hydroiodides and hydrobromides. Hydroiodide and hydrobromide. These precipitate are insoluble and always have to follow method B. This is an example. Here, tincture of stramonium contains salicylic alkaloid, which form an indivisible precipitate of hydroiodide with potassium iodide. So, follow method B in dispensing this prescription. Now, one important point I want to tell you, don't panic because of this typical reactions and prescriptions. They are very easy. Whenever in the exam you get prescription, for example, you will get this prescription and the question will be comment on the above prescription or write the incompatibility present in the prescription. This is a simple question. Now, if you are going to study this in particular way by writing these prescriptions again and again and recalling the procedure, you will just able to write what is the problem over here and what is the solution. Simple as that. Read the prescription, then first answer will be what is the problem you can see in the prescription, and second answer is what you are going to write about this prescription solutions, means how you are going to solve the problem. Follow method A, follow method B, likewise. Okay, so don't panic with this A, B, C, D, E what we have seen. They are very easy. I'll appeal you to write down these prescriptions in your book so that it can be easy for you to study the things. In the next session, we are going to continue this prescription chapter as a incompatibility part 4. Thank you very much for attending the session.